And a very pleasant good afternoon, everyone, as we welcome you to Langhorst Field. It is women's Blue Jay lacrosse this afternoon. It is Elmhurst taking on the visiting Falcons from the University of Wisconsin, River Falls. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mark Kruger. Delighted to have you logged on to BlueJayTV.com. The Blue Jays come in with a record of 1-2, lost their first two games of the season to Cornell and Monmouth, and then won their first game of the season last Wednesday against Olivet by a score of 18-2. For the Falcons, well, this is their first season of existence. The first-year coach Allison Jennings, they are 0-1 on the year, lost to Sewanee back on February 24th by a score of 15-3. So the Falcons are looking for that historic first win in the history of its existence. So we are just about ready to go. 34 degrees, chilly 34 degrees this afternoon. The big story is the wind. Right now it is out of the south at about 15 miles an hour. They are expecting gusts of wind up to 40 miles an hour. Opening ground control taken by the Blue Jays, and we are ready to go here in Elmhurst. We should remind you that we are having two 30-minute halves, and they are running clocks here this afternoon because of the tough weather conditions. So running clocks this afternoon. The only way the clock would stop would be on timeouts or serious injuries, or if there would be a yellow card issued. Other than that, the clock will continue to run. So the opening possession here for the Blue Jays as they control the opening ground control. And into the crease area there goes Marie Corpus, and there is a whistle, so it'll be Corpus on the restart here. And a great chance for the Blue Jays to take the lead here. Just underway, just a little over a minute gone by here in this one. Again, we thank you for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. Shot on goal and the save by Ashley Olson, the freshman goalkeeper from Little Canada, Minnesota. She had 13 saves. Save percentage of 46. So she's 0-1 in goal. Meanwhile, Marissa Vaca is 1-2 in goal. Her goals against average, 11.67. Her save percentage is 43%. Get to the starters here. You see the Falcons in the traveling black jerseys with the white numbers. Alexis Ringler, Gina Jablonski. Look out for her, number 3. She had all 3 of the goals for the Falcons in that loss against Sewanee back on February 24th. Ball down on the ground behind the Blue Jay cage, and it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Falcons. Crystal Fisher, Hannah Helms, Nicole Swanson, Cassandra Hubble. Mentioned Ashley Olson in goal. Lexi Meinert, Faith Majors-Culp, Joey Carlson, and Emma Kolbeck, the starting lineup for the Falcons. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays, Greta Wetzel, Marissa Fico, Petra Kryakopoulos, Yaziria, Cisneros, Tesna Sellington, Larissa Arvanitis, Gabby Gallegos, Callie Miller, Marie Corpus, Marissa Vaca in goal, Allie Madsen. Starting lineups for the Blue Jays. And now we're going to have the ball is going to get picked up by Kim Sharp, and she's going to pass it forward here to Miller on the restart. So Miller bringing it down the near sideline here. Nobody getting in her way. Now finally they do, and force her off to the corner. Now she'll jog it back up. Here's Cisneros. Cisneros makes the move and a little bit high. And it'll be Blue Jays behind the cage on the restart here. Leading goals for the Blue Jays, the leading scorer, Callie Miller, she has 8 goals. Arvanitis has 6. And Cisneros has 4. Miller and Arvanitis, they both combined for 11 goals in that win over Olivet on Wednesday. Miller scored with less than a minute into the contest to take the 1-0 lead, and boy, it was all Blue Jays after that. Gonna have a whistle here, and it'll be Falcon ball on the restart. It's going to be Cassandra Hubble here with an opportunity for the Falcons to get on the board first. Here's the whistle. A couple steps forward, and the save by Vodka. And it goes off to the left. So the Falcons retain possession. Good save by Marissa. Ball down on the ground, and still nobody in control. Still on the ground. And it's going to be picked up by the Falcons. So UW River Falls with another opportunity here. We're scoreless, just about 6 minutes into this first half. Again, it is a running clock here today. Blue Jay Lacrosse, glad to have you logged on at bluejaytv.com. And another foul here against the Blue Jays. So it is going to be Cassandra Hubble, the freshman from Peoria, went to Notre Dame High School down in Peoria. She will have the ball again here on the restart. Going up against Vodka, there's the shot on goal, and she scores. Cassandra Hubble scores her first goal of the year, and the Falcons take the lead here with 24:03 remaining in the first half. First goal for either team comes from Cassandra Hubble off the restart. She is the first player other than Gina Jablonski to score a goal for the Falcons. So it's going to be Miller and Helms here on the ground control. Elmhurst controlled the first ground control, and can they control the second one here? Still to be decided, and the official is going to give the ball to Elmhurst. So Elmhurst officially 2 for 2 in ground controls here today. Trailing 1-0 here. The Blue Jays coming off of that 18-goal performance on Wednesday against Olivet. Previous 2 games combined, Blue Jays scored just 4 goals. 1 against Cornell and 3 against Monmouth. So they really broke it open offensively against Olivet. However, they've been held scoreless here through the first 7.5 minutes of this first half. Good passing, and tried to get the shot off was Emma Kolbeck. She goes behind the cage, number 27 here for the Falcons. Curls around here to the crease, gets pushed back a few yards. She's going to try to pass it off, and this ball is not going to go out of bounds. Hubble got the save. Hubble picks up the ground ball. Falcons in possession. Grace Ross, and we're going to have a whistle here and a foul. Gallegos. And so it'll be Ross on the restart. Ross gets it to the middle of the field. Here's Jablonski. Again, she had all 3 goals for the Falcons in their season opening loss to Sewanee. She's got the ball right now. Jablonski, double team, passing it off nicely. Shot on goal by Kolbeck, and a nice save by Vodka. Boy, Marissa Vodka, she's had a couple of nice saves so far here early on in this first half. 1-0 Falcons, in case you just logged on. Blue Jay Lacrosse from a very chilly Langhorst field. Game time temperature 34 degrees. The big story is the wind, expecting up to 40-mile-an-hour gusts of wind this afternoon, which is why we are utilizing a running clock here in this game today. Ball down on the ground, and it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Falcons. So UW River Falls have been controlling the time of possession here so far. Ball down on the ground. It was scooped up. Well, now it's Alexis Ringler had the ball a couple of times. It's still on the ground. And now finally picked up by Faith Majors-Culp. On the far side, it's Nicole Swanson cradling it on the far side as she gets right to the 30-yard line. Spins into the middle of the field now. And the ball is loose down on the ground. It is scooped up by Lexi Meinert as they work it behind the cage. 1-0 Falcons. 20 minutes remaining here in this first half. Jablonski picks it up, throws it to the centered it nicely to Hannah Helms. Helms shuffles it off to Swanson. 28 on the shot clock. Swanson shoots and scores. So the freshman Nicole Swanson scores her first goal of the game and of the season. And that makes it 2-0 in favor of the Falcons. Unassisted goal by Nicole Swanson from Eagan, Minnesota. She went to Eastview High School, and that's going to make it 2-0 in favor of the visiting Falcons as they look for their very first win of the season. This is the first season of existence for the Falcons. Timeout taken by the Blue Jays here with 19:01 remaining in the first half. Of course, the Blue Jays, part of the CCIW, finished 5-10 a year ago. Did not win a conference game last year. They went 0-6. They are picked to finish 7th this year in the CCIW, according to the preseason coaches poll. Blue Jays totaled 11 points to finish 7th in the poll standings. Illinois Wesleyan went undefeated last year, conference champions. They're picked to defend its CCIW title. Finished at the top of the poll with 48 points, including 6 first-place votes. North Central edged out Chicago and Carthage for second place. North Central finished second with 38 points, while Chicago totaled 37 points and 1 first-place vote. Carthage picked to finish 4th. Carroll tabbed for 5th. Augustana predicted to finish 6th. Dubuque rounded out the poll in 8th place with 9 points. So we'll see how the CCIW season winds out. Blue Jays still in their non-conference schedule. They open up conference play at Chicago on April 3rd, and their conference home opener will be April 6th against the Carroll Pioneers. The 3 conference home games for the Blue Jays: Carroll, April 6th, Dubuque, April 13th, and North Central, April 17th. So it'll be Miller and Helms for the ground control. The Blue Jays won the first 2 ground controls of the game. See if they can continue that streak here. Blue Jays find themselves trailing 2-0 here in this one. And the third ground control is going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go to, should be Blue Jays ball, and it is. So the Blue Jays get the first 3 ground controls of this game. See if they can get a good shot on goal here. Trailing 2-0. About halfway through this first half. Cisneros at the point. Here's Cisneros on the drive, partially blocked. The save by Olsen. Not a lot of velocity left when it got to Olsen's stick. Like I said, I think it was partially blocked. So now the Falcons on the attack. Majors Culp got pushed, and so Majors Culp will have it with the restart. Poked away again by Marissa Fico. So it'll be Majors Culp here on the restart. 2-0 in favor of the Falcons. Goals by Cassandra Hubble and Nicole Swanson, a couple of freshmen getting their first goals of their college careers. And it's 2-0 in favor of the Falcons. And getting to the middle and shooting and scoring is Lexi Meinert, another freshman. So that goal by Meinert makes it 3-0. For Meinert, that is her first goal of the season. From Andover, Minnesota. She went to Andover High School. So it's 3-0. Favor of the Falcons. Helms and Miller again for the 4th ground control of the game. Blue Jays have won every one of them so far, but the Falcons have been finding the back of the net. Falcons lead at 3-0. And this one is controlled by the Falcons. Ball is going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Falcons. Ringler restarts it. And they're going to turn it over here to the Blue Jays. Shinatsky tried to get things going, but the officials said, well, hold on a minute. Now you can start. Cisneros on the run for Elmhurst. Cross midfield. She'll try to set things up on the far side. She's guarded tightly by Chico Rogan. I should say Chloe Rogan. Ball down on the ground, and it's scooped up by Arvanitis. Arvanitis goes behind to the cage. She's guarded tightly there by Majors Culp. Ball loose in the crease area, and it's scooped up by Swanson of the Falcons. Swanson loses it. Ball still down on the ground. And there's going to be a whistle here, and it'll be the Falcons' ball here. Joey Carlson on the restart here. So the Falcons will set up the offensive drive here. 3-0 in favor of the visiting Falcons. Blue Jay Lacrosse here this afternoon from Langhorst Field. Overcast afternoon. Game time temperature, a brisk 34 degrees. The wind has died down a little bit right now. It has shifted from the west now, going from left to right on your monitor. They are expecting gusts of wind up to 40 miles an hour this afternoon. Hubble passes it off to Swanson. Hubble looking for her second goal, got deflected, and we're going to have a whistle. It's going to go to, it's going to be Hubble on the restart. And she's looking for her second goal of the game. And it's going to be a goal. Second goal of the game for Hubble. So 2 goals by Cassandra Hubble, a goal from Lexi Meinert, and a goal from Nicole Swanson. And it's 4-0 in favor of the Falcons as they look for their first win of the season and their first win ever, as this is their first year of existence. Colbeck out there now for the Falcons for this ground control against Miller. Elmhurst won the first 3 of 4. Well, check that. That was Cisneros out there for the ground control for the Blue Jays. And this one is going to be won by the Falcons. So after Elmhurst won the first 3 ground controls, the Falcons have won the next 2. In the crease area, ball is loose down on the ground. Falcons overthrew that pass, and that one is going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Blue Jays. New 90-second shot clock here as we approach the 12-minute mark of this first half. Shanatsky turned the ball over. It's going to be Falcons' ball. It's going to be Hannah Helms, number 7. She passes it off to Colbeck. Shot on goal. The save by Vodka. And now it's the Blue Jays on the attack. Grace Wetzel, number 12 on the far side, and another whistle. Bringing Wetzel back to around the 20-yard line. That's where she will restart it. There's the whistle. Boy, Wetzel double teamed, and she goes down onto the turf. No call. It is Falcons' ball. Boy, aggressive defense. Swanson came away with it, number 9, for the Falcons as Wetzel went hard down to the turf. Falcons taking the shot on goal by Emma Colbeck, and she scores. Emma Colbeck is a 5'10" freshman. She scores her first goal of the game and of the season. She's from Farmington, Minnesota. Farmington High School. Boy, so that makes it 5-0 in favor of the Falcons. 6th ground control coming up right now. Cisneros and Colbeck. So Emma, after scoring the goal, she is going to take part in this ground control. Falcons trying to tie up the ground control at 3-3. Elmhurst won the first 3 ground controls. Falcons have won the last 2, and a whistle, and it's going to be Falcons' ball, so they have controlled the last 3 ground controls now. And quickly scoring is Hannah Helms to make it 6-0. Boy, oh boy, the Falcons took no time there to get it down, and Hannah Helms got into the crease area, found the shot, and got it by Vodka, and it is now 6-0. For Helms, again, that is her first goal of the year. 6-0 in favor of the Falcons. Cisneros and Colbeck. The ground control. Scooped up. Thought it was going to be scooped up by the Blue Jays. Now it's scooped up by Jablonski. So the Falcons have won the last 4 ground controls after Elmhurst won the first 3 ground controls. Boy, the Blue Jays have had a tough time of getting control of the ball. Now they finally do. This is Marissa Fico. Ball down on the ground here around midfield. And it's going to go to the Blue Jays. It'll be Miller here on the restart right at midfield. Miller on the run. And on the pass off, we're going to have a restart here. Bit of a bump against the Falcons. So it's Miller on the restart. Miller is going to go behind the cage. Curl around from the outside, from the other side, trying to get the angle. Wasn't there. And it's going to be scooped up by the Falcons. Another whistle. It was a foul against the Blue Jays, so Falcons on the restart. Falcons in the black jerseys lead by a score of 6-0, under 8 minutes to play here in this first half. Falcons on the attack. That shot is wide to the left. Falcons ball scooped up there by Rogan. Rogan in position, centered it, not deflected by the Blue Jays, and we got a whistle. And it's going to be the Falcons on the restart. Kolbeck, she's going to look for her second goal of the game. Mano y mano against Vaca. Kolbeck runs in, and she is going to score. Her second goal of the game comes with just under 7 minutes to go in the first half, and it's 7-0 now in favor of the Falcons. Kolbeck with 2 goals in this first half, and also Hubble has 2 goals in this first half for the Falcons. So Kolbeck, after scoring her second goal of the game, will come back and participate in the ground control here, where the Falcons have won the last 4 ground controls. She's going up against Arvanitis this time. And they're going to give it to Elmhurst. So that stops 4 straight ground control wins for the Falcons. Boy, the Blue Jays desperately need to get on the board here before halftime here. 5:43 to go. Well, they lose the ball here, and it's picked up by Hubble. Blue Jays just having a tough time getting into an offensive rhythm. Just getting into an offensive set. Rogan on the move. And she lost it, a whistle though, and so she will have the restart here. She kind of split the 2 defenders and got bumped. So Chloe Rogan will have the restart here. She's looking for her first goal of the season. Rogan down on the ground, and a save by Vaca. And we're going to have a yellow card issued here. 4:48 remaining here in this first half. Stop the clock momentarily while the yellow card is issued. Yaziria Cisneros is going to jog off here, and she will take a knee for the Blue Jays. First yellow card issued of the game. And it'll be Lexi Meinert behind the cage here on the restart. Minert centers it nicely. The goal by Hannah Helms. Beautiful pass, and Helms with the catch and shoot, if you will. And for Helms, that is her second goal of the game. And boy, that makes it 8-0 now. And Helms becomes the third player for the Falcons to get 2 goals here. Helms, Colbeck, and Hubble each with 2 goals now. Ninth ground control of the game here. Ball goes up, and it's, well, now we got a whistle, and the ball is going to be awarded to the Falcons, so the Falcons will get credit for possession of that ground control. 3.5 minutes remaining here in this first half. It's been all Falcons of UW River Falls, and a second yellow card has been issued now. Who is this one going to be on against? Looks like it's Gabby Gallegos is going to jog off the field for Elmhurst, number 25, junior defenseman. And so she will take a knee here. 3:25 to go. Falcons on the restart. Ball on the ground on the far side, scooped up by the Falcons. Helms, or check that, that's Jablonski. Interesting, Gina Jablonski has yet to score. I don't think has taken a shot on goal, and she scored all 3 goals in that first game for the Falcons. So she's got the ball right now, and whistle, and it's going to be the Falcons on the restart. Grace Ross, number 29. Chance for her to get her first goal of the season. She fires up top, and it's good. So Grace Ross gets the goal to make it 9-0. Her first goal of the season. Cisneros is going to come in and take the ground control against Colbeck. Tenth ground control of the game is up, and it comes back into the stick of Colbeck. Falcons in possession of that ground control. 1.5 minutes remaining here in this first half. It is all Falcons. They lead it 9-0 here. Blue Jay ball here. Final minute of the half. Get it up top. Here Cisneros crosses midfield. Cisneros running on the far side. Stride for stride with Colbeck. Here's Miller. And a whistle, and it's going to go against the Blue Jays here. So Falcons ball here, final 30 seconds of the half. Falcons looking for more here, leading 9-0. Helms gets it up to Jablonski. Jablonski makes the move, and she goes down low and scores. So just as I mentioned, Gina Jablonski hasn't scored yet today. Here she is scoring with just 9 seconds to go here in the half to make it 10-0 in favor of the Falcons. So that is the end of the first half here from Langhorst Field. The visiting Falcons from the University of Wisconsin River Falls leading the Blue Jays by a score of 10-0. We'll be back with second half action. You are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. And welcome back to Langhorst Field. We are on the campus of Elmhurst College. Chilly Sunday afternoon here, 34 degrees game time temperature. We are at halftime. The visiting Falcons of UW River Falls leading by a score of 10-0 over the Elmhurst College Blue Jays. 7 different Falcons scored in that first half. 3 Falcons scored 2 goals in that first half. The Blue Jays coming off of that 18-2 win performance on Wednesday against Olivet. But offensively, they have struggled here in this first half. Let's see if they can turn it around here in the second half. It is a 30-minute second half. It is a running clock because of the weather conditions here. So the only way in which the clock will stop is if a timeout is issued or a severe injury or a yellow card is issued. We had 2 yellow cards in that first half. 10 ground controls in the first half, 6-4 advantage for the Falcons. So now we are just about ready to get underway here in the second half. My name is Mark Kruger. So glad that you are logged on to BlueJayTV.com. And one of these days, the weather is going to break, and we're going to have a great day of weather for lacrosse. Opening ground control the second half, controlled by the Falcons. Falcons controlled the time of possession in that first half as well. The Blue Jays really didn't have many opportunities to get their offensive unit into a flow, into a rhythm. Ball off the top of the stick there of Swanson. It's going to be on the ground. And Rogan tried to scoop it up, but she ran out of real estate. So it's going to be the Blue Jay ball here. Marissa Vaca in goal for the Blue Jays, and Ashley Olson in goal for the Falcons as the Blue Jays can't get it out of their own zone here. It's going to be Falcons ball. Well, now it's on the ground. Scooped up by the Falcons. Looks like that was Hannah Helms who has it. Passes it off. Oh, Swanson had it and dropped it in the crease area there. She would have had a great opportunity for a goal, but it will be Falcons ball here on the restart. Colbeck, she had 2 goals, one of 3 Falcons with 2 goals in that first half. So she's looking for the hat trick here. Going to go one-on-one against Vaca after the whistle here. There's the whistle. Colbeck steps in, shoots, and it's going to be a save by Vaca. Ball down on the ground, picked up by Swanson. Swanson to Colbeck. Colbeck couldn't quite handle it. It's going to go behind the cage. Oh, you had a whistle, though, on the play. It's going to be Falcons ball on the restart. Colbeck will get another opportunity here. Colbeck shoots and scores. Her 3rd goal of the game comes with about 2.5 minutes into this second half to make it 11-0. Goal and assisted by Colbeck. That is her third goal of the game. And that makes it now 11-0 in favor of the Falcons. Ball goes up on the ground control, and it's controlled by the Falcons. So they win the first two ground controls of this second half. It's Crystal Fisher on the attack. Fisher still moving, still going, and she scores. Crystal Fisher took it all the way. Boy, she got the ball off the ground control and just kept going and kept going. Nobody stopped her, and she went in and got the shot, and it went by Vaca, and now it is 12-0. Crystal Fisher, 5'6" freshman from Blaine, Minnesota. She went to Spring Lake Park High School. So now it's Swanson and Wetzel on the ground control here. Third ground control of the second half. Fisher becomes the 8th different Falcon to score in this game. 25:40 remaining, and the ball down on the ground, scooped up by Wetzel. So Elmhurst wins the third ground control of the second half. Wetzel on the pass, and we had a whistle. Gretel will have the ball here on the restart. She's guarded by Ringler. Want to reset the shot clock now. It's at 90 seconds. Cisneros now on the top. Cisneros makes the move. Pass inside on the ground. Scooped up by the Blue Jays now as they work it behind the cage here. Here's Cisneros. Cisneros curls, shoots. Ooh, great opportunity by Cisneros, but it wasn't there. Coming away with it is Swanson. Swanson down on the ground. Ringler scoops it up. Ringler passes it forward to Rogan. Rogan continuing the momentum. Passes, centers it nicely, but boy, kind of handcuffed Jablonski there a little bit. It's going to go to the Blue Jays. Jablonski right there in the middle there, but again, it kind of handcuffed her a little bit. She couldn't quite get there, and now she's going to try to track down the ground control, the ground ball, and she couldn't quite get there. So it's going to be Blue Jay ball. If you've just logged on, it is Blue Jay Women's Lacrosse. Their opponent today, UW River Falls Falcons, in their first year of existence. And right now it's 12-0 in favor of the visiting Falcons. Blue Jays 1-2 on the year, coming off of that 18-2 win against Olivet on Wednesday. Miller had 6 goals for the Blue Jays. Arvanitis had 5 goals off the restart here, and it's going to go back up over the pile of snow. Falcons retain possession here. 23 minutes remaining here in this second half. Again, it's a running clock. Jablonski, she had a goal in the first half. She's got 4 goals now on the season. She's the leader of this team in goals currently. Emma Colbeck has a hat trick today. It's going to be Arvanitis now on the restart for the Blue Jays. or Jablonski, excuse me, and it's a save by Vaca. Good save by Marissa. She's looking for an outlet now. Can't find anyone. Now she lets it launch, and it's down on the ground. It's anybody's ball. Jablonski comes up with it. Jablonski makes a couple of moves, and it's off to the right. And it's going to be picked up by Rogan for the Falcons. Rogan working directly behind the cage. Now she comes out. Try to pass it down to Swanson. We got a whistle, and what's the call? Official is taking out a yellow card here. It's going to be Cisneros. That's her second yellow card of the game. Comes at the 21:45 mark here of the second half. So 2 yellow cards issued to Cisneros today. And it's going to be Falcons on the restart. Ball down on the ground. And it's going to be scooped up by Crystal Fisher of the Falcons. Vaca with a save. Vaca again looking for an outlet. Now we got a whistle here. Vaca looking for an outlet here in the restart. Steal. Here's Rogan. She loses it down on the ground. Rogan will have it on the restart. Rogan looking for her first goal of the game and of the season. Save by Vaca. Falcons retain possession, however. Fisher makes the move. Fisher is going to pass. Well, it was intended to Jablonski. And it's scooped up behind the cage. Falcons ball. And now what's the call? It's going to be Blue Jay ball, I believe. Indeed, Blue Jay ball on the restart. I believe Fico to start things behind the cage. Marissa passes it up ahead. Corpus gets it across midfield. Tried to pass to Wetzel. She couldn't quite handle it. Got it back, however, and another whistle. Foul against the Falcons, so Blue Jay ball on the restart. Wetzel double team, pushed and shoved, and there's the whistle. Greta on the restart. Jablonski a little too aggressive. And Jablonski is going to get a yellow card as she just knocked down Wetzel. Jablonski jogging off. Now the trainers are coming out here to take a look at Greta. Yeah, she got hit pretty hard. And she's only 5'2". 5'2" freshman from Arlington Heights. And she is still down on the ground. Yeah, she took a big hit from Jablonski. Stop the clock with 19 minutes and 13 seconds remaining here in the game. Greta Wetzel went down hard. It's 12-0 in favor of the Falcons. We haven't had a score in the last 7 minutes. As you see, Greta coming up under her own power. She obviously is in a lot of pain, but fighting it off here. Hopefully she will be okay. Allison Brady, the head coach of the Blue Jays, talking to the officials. Well, the trainer is looking at Greta Wetzel's eyes right now. Boy, that's not good.
Did they give 15 a yellow card as well? Oh, green, got it. What is it, green?
It's like Jablonski got a yellow card. Lexi Meinert has a knee, too. She may have been given a green card. Nevertheless, there's two Falcons on a knee. Jablonski and Meinert issued cards here by the officials. Let's get things going here. Blue Jay ball in the restart. It'll be Miller. I want to reset the shot clock to 90. And Miller on the restart. 12-0, in case you've just logged on, in favor of the Falcons. Here's Miller taking it straight up the middle, now passes it off here to Allie Madden. Madden scoops it up. Arvanitis. And another whistle. It'll be Arvanitis on the restart. Arvanitis shoots and scores. So there's the first goal of the game for the Blue Jays. Comes from Larissa Arvanitis. Arvanitis, who scored 5 goals on Wednesday against Olivet. She comes up here and scores the first goal of the game here for the Blue Jays today against the Falcons. 12-1 now is your score. And for Arvanitis, that's goal number 7 on the season. So at least the Blue Jays are not going to get shut out here this afternoon. Larissa Arvanitis made sure of that, scoring her 7th goal of the year. Jablonski and Miller, ground control, controlled by the Blue Jays. Down on the ground, Jablonski, wow, made a nice aggressive move to get that ball off the ground. Ball is going to go to the Falcons here. Rogan holding on the far side, now passes to Jablonski. Ross lost control of it. It's down on the ground. Ball is still down on the ground, trying to get scooped up, and finally it is Madden who comes away with it. However, she loses it. And it's picked up by Jablonski. Jablonski, fancy cradling, and she got hit. And so it's going to be Gina Jablonski on the restart here. 12-1 in favor of the Falcons. 16 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in this second half. Jablonski on the restart. Can't quite get it there as it goes behind the cage and out of bounds, so the Falcons will scoop it up. That's Rogan. And what's the call? The ball is going to go to the Falcons. Rogan. And a streaking Faith Majors Culp, and she scores. Majors Culp with her first goal of the season. And that makes it 13-1. Falcons, after this game, will be at home against Upper Iowa on March 13th. Then they'll be at Carroll on March 16th. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays will be at Beloit on March 20th and at Trine on March 23rd. So a couple of road games after today for the Blue Jays before returning home on March 24th against Johnson and Wales. That's a 1 o'clock start on March 24th. Jablonski had the ground control, lost it, and it's going to be awarded to the Falcons. Jablonski gets it up Majors Culp. Fisher couldn't quite handle the pass. She dropped it down on the ground, and the ball is going to go to the Blue Jays. Wetzel on the restart. Wetzel has it knocked from behind by Fisher. Ball down on the ground. Fisher trying to pick up the ground ball. She does. Passes it to Jablonski. Behind the cage. Shooting and scoring is number 15, Lexi Meinert. Lexi Meinert with her second goal of the game. And that makes it 14-1. She becomes the fourth Falcon to score more than one goal here today. Emma Kolbeck has 3 goals for the Falcons. The only goal the Blue Jays could muster so far today, a couple of moments ago, Larissa Arvanitis with the goal. It's 14-1 in favor of the Falcons. 12.5 minutes remaining in the game. Blue Jays are going to drop to 1-3 on the year. And the Falcons will go to 1-1 and capture their very first victory. This is the first year of existence for this team, this program. Dropped the opening game to Sewanee, 15-3. But now they're leading comfortably here against the Blue Jays, 14-1 with 12 minutes to go. Miller scooped it up in another whistle, but it's going to be Falcons ball on the restart. It'll be Carly Sommermeyer, sophomore from Waubaki, Wisconsin. Turn it over here is the Blue Jays' Corpus. Corpus tried to get it to Madden. She couldn't quite get there. The pass was a little bit low and to her right. And it's going to go to the Falcons. Sommermeyer on the restart. Ball down on the ground, and it's scooped up by Petra Kryakopoulos. Tried to pass it to Corpus. It was deflected by the Falcons. It's down on the ground. Still down on the ground. Picked up by Rogan. And now it's picked up by the Blue Jays. Here's Miller. Madden working, has it knocked down, picks it up off the ground. Madden gets it to the middle, drops it, picks it right back up, has it stolen from Jablonski. Boy, Jablonski does a great job of that, just coming from behind and knocking the ball out. Very quick. Meinert dropped it. Ball on the ground. She got it back, however, back to Jablonski. Rogan having trouble finding the ears. And it looks like we've got an injured Blue Jay here. They're going to stop the clock with 9:32 remaining because of the injury here. I believe that was Marissa Fico, the injured Blue Jay. She may have gotten hit in the face area there. She's kind of holding her middle of her face area there, but I think she's shaking it off. She'll have the ball here on the restart. Marissa, a 5'4" freshman from Chicago. Blue Jays on the attack here. Get it to the middle of the field. This is Corpus. Corpus running nicely in the middle. Corpus still has it. Passes it off to Miller. Miller shoots. And a nice save by the freshman, Ashley Olson. Olson hasn't had many opportunities. Boy, but that one there, nice save. Just under 9 minutes to go in this one. Rogan, and she was pushed, so she'll have it on the restart. And she's going to jog it behind the cage. And we got a whistle here and a flag. All right, it's going to be Rogan on the restart for the Falcons. Rogan hasn't scored yet today. On the restart, Rogan got cut off. Now she dropped the ball, picked up by Fico. She dropped it. Ball down on the ground, kicked around a little bit, and we've got another whistle. Blue Jay ball on the restart. Blue Jays trying to get it out of their own zone, trying to clear it. And we're going to have another whistle. And again, it's Jablonski coming from behind and knocking the ball loose. Seen that a number of times here today. And the sun trying to peek through here at Langhorst Field. Again, game time temperature 34 degrees. They're expecting gusts of wind up to 40 miles an hour, so they decided to have a running clock here this afternoon. Right now we're at 7 minutes and 25 seconds remaining, and they want to stop the clock here now as Jablonski is going to get awarded her second yellow card of the game, or green card. And now what, a timeout taken here, I believe? Both teams going to their respective benches here. 7:24 remaining in this one. It's been all Falcons, 14-1. Other action from teams in the CCIW today. Chicago is hosting Kalamazoo, and Carthage is at Wittenberg. Illinois Wesleyan off to a great start for CCIW teams. Of course, we haven't played any conference games yet, but Illinois Wesleyan is 3-0 on the year, as is Chicago. North Central off to a good start as well at 2-0. Carroll won its first game of the season. The Blue Jays coming into this afternoon's game with a record of 1-2. Season opening, or their first two losses of the year were to Cornell and Monmouth. They were supposed to play Wartburg, but that game got postponed a couple of times because of the bad weather. Last Wednesday, they knocked off Olivet 18-2. All of their games here for the Blue Jays women's team has been here at Langhorst Field. After today, they will go on the road March 20th at Beloit. That is a 5 o'clock start. And then on March 23rd, they'll be at Trine. That's a 1 o'clock start. Before returning home here on March 24th against Johnson and Wales. That is a 1 o'clock start. Both teams back out on the field now after the timeout. 7:24 left. So it'll be Blue Jay ball on the restart. Arvanitis will get it going. Boy, Arvanitis double teamed. Now even triple teamed there. And she finally passes it back to Fico. Falcons very aggressive against the person who has the ball. Falcons scoop it up and they work it behind their own cage. Get it to the goalie there, and Olsen will fire it out. .6:45 remaining. Ball goes down into the corner. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go to the Blue Jays here. Wetzel will take it. She's double teamed, exactly what I was talking about, double teaming the ball, and it was knocked away from behind by Hubble. Hubble shoots and scores. Cassandra Hubble, she scores her third goal of the game, and that makes it 15-1. So both Hubble and Kolbeck each with 3 goals this afternoon. Hubble scored the very first goal, and she scored the 4th goal of the game. And now she scores here with 6 minutes remaining in the game. That makes it, again, 15-1. So the Blue Jays going to have to regroup here after this game. Again, they've got 2 road games coming up. Beloit and Trine on the road. Ground control is going to be awarded to the Falcons. Be Crystal Fisher coming up with it. Passes to Ringler. Ringler, ball down on the ground. And a whistle. Blue Jay ball in the restart. It'll be Miller. Kaylee Miller retreats. Now she passes to Sharp. Sharp makes a spin move. Keeps going. And a whistle. Kimberly Sharp, 5'7" junior from West Chicago. Saved by Olson. Helms has the ball for the Falcons. Passes it over to Sommermeyer. Sommermeyer. Still in control of it. Sommermeyer, and now we've got a whistle. Sommermeyer will have it on the restart. Sommermeyer looking for her first goal of the game and of the season. Sommermeyer shoots. The redirect is no good. Ball down behind the cage. Blue Jays trying to pick it up. And another whistle. And whose ball is it? I think they're giving it to the Blue Jays here. Indeed. Blue Jay ball in the restart. Well, now wait a minute. They're giving it to the goalie, Vaca. Vaca's going to fire it forward to Arvanitis over her stick, but into the hands of Corpus. Marie sprinting down the middle. Now off to the right a little bit. Corpus veering in, shoots, no good. And we're going to have another whistle. 2.5 minutes left in this one. Corpus on the restart for the Blue Jays. See if Elmhurst can get its second goal of the game here. Corpus, freshman out of Lombard, went to Montini. And a save by Olson. Picked up by Kolbeck. Ahead, here's Fisher. Fisher passes it off to Swanson. Swanson passes it to Minor. Minor bobbled it, got it back. Back up to Helms. 1:40 to remaining. And it's stripped away. Nice play defensively by that's Kim Sharp. Sharp trying to scoop it up off the ground. Couldn't quite handle it. It is Miller, though, that has it now for the Blue Jays. Miller sprinting here down to the near side here. Bit of contact as Miller goes down on the ground. Still no call by the official. And now we've got a whistle, and it's going to be Miller on the restart. And another whistle. Here's Miller. Going behind the cage here, under a minute remaining. Ball down on the ground. Corpus was in position to pick up the ground ball. She did not. Finally, it's Krayakopoulos. And another whistle. 30 seconds to go here in this one. It's been all Falcons here today. Blue Jays on the restart. It's going to go behind. Madden will retrieve it. 4 seconds remaining, and that's going to do it. The final score here from Langhorst Field, 15-1 in favor of the Falcons of UW River Falls. So the Falcons are now 500, 1-1 on the year. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays fall to 1-3 on the year. So we thank you so much for logging on to BlueJayTV.com. My name is Mark Greer. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Once again, the final score here from Langhorst Field, 15-1 in favor of the Falcons. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.